Hello, my magic ladies. My name is Anastasia A. I'm a money fairy, a dollar millionaire, and an Eurographics instructor. Today, I want to tell you about the money barbell technique. My drawing looks more like two eggs with a stick, but let's imagine that I can draw, and this is a money barbell. So, what is a money barbell? It's a technique that boosts your financial capacity. And to make it easy, let's draw a glass. Now, if a glass is 1 liter in volume, can you pour 1.5 liters of water in it? No, because its volume is 1 liter. Water will begin to pour out, and the same for you. You now have a financial capacity. For some it's $1, for others it's $100,000, for others it's $1 million. And as soon as you, for example, made some technique, drew neurographic, something else, and you received more than your financial capacity, you begin to pour out this money. You can't keep them, they're piled up like this, more than your capacity, more than your volume. They start pouring out. And by the way, I suffered from this for a very long time because I was already earning decent money, but I continued to waste money on all sorts of nonsense because my volume did not allow me to accept them, did not allow me to save money. And a technique called the money barbell saves you from this. And of course, it also increases your income because along with money barbell, your desires also increase. What is this? You and I must constantly evolve. Even the simplest organisms evolve, even viruses, even bacteria. The whole world is called upon to evolve. This is our task. And if you eat same foods year after year, travel to the same places, ride the same class of taxi, that is, you do the same thing all the time, then you will not be able to grow. You're essentially walking in circles. Groundhog Day. You're having lunch in the same restaurant, working in the same place, nothing happens. And as soon as you begin to allow yourself more in at least something, in some area, either your income increases or your financial capacity increases, and sooner or later both will increase. Both financial capacity and income. But in order not to get into debt, so as not to go crazy, we must know the rules of how to increase the money burden. Because if you come to the gym and immediately start lifting a weight of 300 kilos, you will break your spine, strain yourself, get injured. Well, if you have been training for 20 years, then you will take 300 kilos and press it as if nothing had happened. I mean, men, probably you can't press 300 kilos, it's my assumption. And of course, just as in the gym the load needs to be increased gradually, so the financial load needs to be increased just as gradually. What should you do? You choose an area that is relevant to you. It could be a restaurant, it could be food, it could be transport, and little by little you begin to allow yourself more. For example, now you travel only by public transport all the time, but once a month you go out in style and take a taxi. This is the first option on how to boost your money barbell. The second option is that you go to a more expensive store, a grocery store, than you usually go to. For example, you always visit some local one, and once a month or once a fortnight, you allow yourself to go to some expensive grocery store, and you don't have to buy everything there. You don't have to buy your usual grocery set. You can buy basic milk, bread, eggs, something that will be a little more expensive. But you're already expanding your financial norm. Then you can, for example, once a month go to some expensive restaurant. You don't have to spend $1,000 there. Even in expensive restaurants, there are business lunches. If you're not sure, you can check the website in advance or call the restaurant, find out if they have such a service. And most often, business lunches are really inexpensive, and once a month, you really can afford it. Or you can come and just drink coffee and dessert there. Even in the most expensive restaurant, it will not cost an astronomical amount. You can afford it. What else? You can sometimes buy yourself some clothes that are more expensive and of better quality. If you're flying on vacation, then try to go to a more expensive hotel or a more expensive resort every year. And even if you're flying to the same hotel, then rent a more expensive room, better than last time. That is, your task is to constantly go up, to constantly raise the level of the norm and increase the financial burden. Every month, allow yourself a little more and ask the world a little more. And thus, you begin to pump this financial muscle, and what was previously difficult for you becomes your norm. I can tell you with my own example. For a very long time, I could not change to business class on the plane. For me, it was money thrown away. I understood that I could fly with my husband together, for example, to Thailand for $2,000 in economy class, and in business class it would cost $10,000. And I could not accept in my head that I just had to throw away $8,000 for some kind of comfort, you know. But one day my friend, a dollar millionaire, and by the way, I wasn't a dollar millionaire yet, and I think it's not coincidence, she told me, Anastasia, until you change to business class in the plane, your income will not increase. Oh, you can't imagine how hard it was for me. I had incredible resistance. I considered people who paid that kind of money for just 9-hour flights idiots. After all, the money can be spent there. You can rent a more expensive hotel. You can fly to Thailand twice. God, why overpay for business? And believe me, if you immediately take a large load on the money barbell, you will have the same resistance. You will also think, why ride a taxi, comfort class, if I can save money and take economy? Why should I go to an expensive restaurant for a business lunch when I can take food with me and save the money, and so on and so on? But that's the point. Until you increase your displacement capacity from a liter to 3, you will not receive any more money, you understand? And the only way to increase it is when you physically, at the body level, start to want more and more. You should want more expensive clothes, more expensive vacations, more expensive food, more expensive medicine, more expensive education. This is not necessarily, about showing off, about buying yourself a watch for $1 million. No, maybe this is simply an increase in the level of the norm in training, or, for example, in medicine. Yes, medicine. It's so comfortable to come to a good clinic, expensive, and receive good quality medical care with a smile, professionally, without waiting. So you can choose the area where you pump up your money barbell yourself. If you don't like expensive clothes, for God's sake, buy VIP training rates or pay for some super coaching sessions from astrologers that you're delighted with. It's important that you grow. I hope I explained this technique clearly. If you have any questions, write in the comments. I will be happy to answer them. Be sure to share this technique with your friends, and I remind you that doing it once will not be enough, and moreover, you will have resistance for a long time. I resisted upgrading my airline tickets to business class for about a year, and each time it was hard for me, and each time I scolded myself myself sitting in business class, nagged myself and scolded that I was an idiot, wasting money on nonsense, and in my old age I will scold myself for this and live in poverty. But once I upgraded to business class, my income really went up, and now I fly business class all the time. It's very rare that I fly economy. There can be different reasons. Either everything is booked or there are some urgent circumstances, but 90% of the time I fly business class, and this would not have been possible if I had not started this technique. Even more cool, powerful techniques at my marathons, to which I am happy to invite you via the link in the profile description. And this is again about the level of the norm. For some, paying $700 for a course is a lot of money. Start small. There are marathons for $35, $45 and gradually increase. And I'm talking not about my marathons, but in general. And so I wish you huge income, huge financial capacity. See you in the next videos. Yours, Anastasia A.